Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello everyone. So moving to the second aspect or the second social institution that we want to talk about is the family. So family is one of the major social institutions. What is family? Why is it a social institution is what we're going to talk about, and how many types of families are there, what are the origin, what are the relationships in all of these aspects. Now, when you talk about family, the word that is an English word has actually come from originally the Roman word that is famulus or the Latin word familia. What is the meaning? The meaning of these words is the household, including your servants, your workers, slaves, along with the individuals having family blood relationships or the marriage relationships. So unless and until the point is that you are related in terms of the blood relations, or you are related because of the marriage bond that is there, and along with the people who are staying with you, be it your servants, workers, slaves, all of these people make one unit, which is family. So make one entity, that is family. Now, family is a basic or a fundamental institution of society because it is the basic unit of society and is important for social groups. Family is the basic unit of society. It is the basic and the fundamental unit of society, wherein because of the family's formation, you have the formation of the society as a whole. Hence, it is one of the most important social groups as well. When we talk about the social groups, we actually see that, how these entities are collaborating together, how these are in a way forming themselves together and hence making an aspect of society. It is essential for procreation and socialization. Now, family as a unit. In the last video, when we talked about marriage as a unit, we talked about the reasons that gave rise or that are responsible behind the concept of marriage. Now, when we talk about family, family is also something which is essential for procreation and socialization. Families also, when you go ahead and talk about the family, or when we talk about the individual's growth, we will see that for a child, family is the first aspect of socialization, the first unit of socialization, and hence it is very important as it plays a very important role of socialization. So family again is a universal institution because it has existed throughout the human history and is found in all the societies. Again, because family is found in all the societies, it is there available, it is there in almost all the, the societies which are present and has a history behind it. It is a universal unit. The family is made up of individuals who have kinship relationships among themselves. The smallest family consists of the husband and the wife with or without their children. That's the smallest family. You have your husband, you have your wife, like you are a married couple, and hence you are either with or without your children. This concept of kinship is something that I will be explaining to you in the next video in elaborate form. So we can just hold on for it for a while. So, but a family can also include others like grandparents, your other family, other relatives, and even the adopted persons as well. So, basically, if we talk about the definition of family given by some of the sociologists, they say, Eliot and Merrill, they say that the family is a biological and a social unit composed of husband, wife, and children. So when your family is composed of husband, wife, and children, wherein husband and wife are here because of the social action or because of the social unit of marriage, however, children are here because of the biological aspect, that is the biological aspect of procreation, and hence is the concept of, or hence is this definition of family very apt, that it is a biological and a social unit composing of the family, the husband, wife, and the children. Whereas Nimcom says that the family is more or less durable association of husband and wife with or without children, or of a man or a woman alone with children. So it says that it is an association, it is a durable association, it is something that where the person are able to associate with themselves, that they are also able to associate with the others, be it the husband, just the husband or the wife, or you have man, woman and the children involved in it. However, Burgess and Locke says the family is a group of persons united by the ties of marriage, blood or adoption, consisting of a single household interacting and intercommunicating with each other in their respective roles of husband and wife, mother and father, son and daughter, brother and sister, and creating a common culture. So herein he has taken all the aspects. He has taken the ties of marriage, he has taken the ties of blood, he has taken even the ties of adoption. It is, as per them, a single entity, a single household, wherein the interaction is taking place, wherein the intercommunication is taking place, and all of these ties and all of these relationships are actually inculcating, be it biological relationships, be it social relationships, all of it is actually towards the end giving rise to a social unit of family, and that is what they mean by this definition. So this is how family has been defined by different people. Now, talking about what are these setups or what are the types of families, I'm sure you people must be aware of the types of the families, wherein we do have nuclear families and we do have joint families. The third type is the extended family, which is not very common, but just I'm sure you people know about what are nuclear families and what are joint families. Just giving you a quick recap or a summary of what are nuclear and joint families. So basically, nuclear families are where a group of people consisting of husband, wife and their unmarried children. That is it. You have husband, you have the wife, as in you have the couple, and you have their children and their unmarried children. This is the basic grouping of the mates and their offsprings, and it is the smallest composition of the family unit. It is the smallest composition of the family unit. Also, a group of persons consisting, this is something which is a smallest composition. They may also be supplemented nuclear family, that is the units with a widowed parent of the husband or his younger brothers and sisters as residents. So you might have an extended or a supplemented, rather not an extended but a supplemented nuclear family setup, wherein you might have, with the couple, either the parent, one of the parents staying it, or one of the, one of the unmarried husband or the unmarried brother or the sister staying it. It's the couple, it's the children, and it is either one of the, they have talked about the widowed parent, or it is unmarried sister, or it is an unmarried brother. So that is what makes the composition of the supplemented nuclear family. Thus, the nuclear family consists of the married couple and the unmarried offsprings. Now, moving on, the daughters are given away at the wedding. Obviously, the daughters go from the family, and the sons after marriage establish nuclear families of their own. So, after marriage, the son also gets into an association with a person and starts the nuclear family of their own. And if there is one of the parents staying with them for some of the times because of some or the other reason, then it again comes as the concept of the supplemented nuclear family. Now herein, Each individual belongs to two kinds of nuclear family. One is the family of orientation and the family of procreation. Very, very interesting understanding. Now, what do these mean? So, the family where the individual is born and brought up is his family of orientation, including his parents, brothers and sisters. So, what family you are born in? Like, if I am born in my family, if I am the daughter of my parents, that is my family of orientation. That is my family that I belongs to from the orient, like from the childhood, hence the family of orientation. Whereas the family which the individual establishes by the way of marriage is the family of procreation. So when the couple is getting married, when I get married and have my offsprings with my husband along with, so the whole married couple and their offspring scenario is what is termed as the family of procreation. And hence this is the difference between hence there are two types of nuclear families, or the two setups, or the two kinds of nuclear families, that is the family of orientation and the family of procreation. In the family of procreation, it is the married couple and their offsprings out there. Wherein, as in the family of orientation, it is the individual, the single person, the parents, the brothers and the sisters here. Now, talking about the joint family setup, the joint family consists of more than one primary family. So, if you are married and you are staying with your parents who are again married, and maybe, even if this is the scenario, you call it a joint family setup. And all the members are blood relations or close kins and generally share common residence, kitchen and property. So, you generally kind of share a common residence, a common kitchen, common property. Now, joint families generally consist of 3 or more generations. Like I said here, it is your husband, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, and your grandmother and your grandfather-in-law. All of these people will make one entity of family, which will be the joint family setup. Now, but 2 or more collateral families living together in the common residence and sharing a common kitchen and property also forms a joint family. For example, you have your family, as in your dad, your father is here, your mother is here, you're here, your wife comes out here as well. So this is one unit, but you have your dad's brother also staying in here, along with his wife, along with his married children. All of you people share one family. You have your grandparents also in here. So all of you share the property, all of you share the kitchen. You have a common kitchen and a common residence. That also becomes a part of the new joint family setup. So this is what the concept of the joint family is. Talking about, so joint family is the hallmark of traditional Indian society, having very deep roots in history. Joint family is the traditional form prevalent in India even now, even though it is it is evaporating very, very fast. Even though it is evaporating very fast because of, a lot of migrations happening due to work, because of people getting jobs in different areas, different countries. At sometimes generation issues, the generation gap, the adjustment issues. But it is one of the traditional forms of the family setup prevalent in India, and hence is given a lot of importance. Moving to the social functions of family. Why is family important? What is the social function of family? Why do we need a family? How does family justify its role in the society? So, the family is the nucleus of all the social groups. It is, since we talked about, it is the smallest unit, essential, or it is the nucleus of all the social groups because of its functional importance. Now, what are the functional importance? We'll talk about it. These functions are performed both by the family and other social agencies. These functions are secondary functions and the non-essential functions. This has been given by McIver and Page. So you have two types of functions. One is the primary function that is there. The other ones are the secondary functions or the non-essential functions. But then what are the primary functions or the functions of importance is what we are going to talk about. So first function being the satisfaction of sex. In general, societies accept and approve sex relationships between husband and wife as legitimate. If you have, like, human beings are sexual beings and human beings are social beings as well, so you don't have to take care of both of these aspects. You want to satisfy the other aspect also, even if you're getting involved or indulged in the first one. So the sex part is something which is very, very important in the social sphere that at least that we as societies follow. So the sexual intimacies or the sexual relationships that a person has post-marriage is given legitimacy, it's given legal authority, it's given legal recognition and is considered to be a part of that marriage or a part of that whole unit of you getting married. So a family as an institution is divided to provide a lifelong partnership to the spouses. So you are in a way designed to have or to provide the long life partnership to your spouses, like we see in case of our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, etc. Besides, it avoids uncertainty and sex rivalries. Have a bond established, you generally do not tend to move out of that bond in the sexual spheres as well. If you are moving out of that bond of husband and wife in the sexual spheres, if you have any third person involved in here, that is something that is not given legitimacy as per the social rules and regulations. And hence, because people generally do not tend to do that, it avoids uncertainty and sex rivalries of who is belonging to who and who has the right over the sexual desires and actions of the other person. Similarly, the family also helps to develop sexual harmony and better personality adjustments. So you kind of have a sexual harmony, you kind of have the sexual peace situation and also the better personality adjustments because you are satisfying another aspect of yours as a human being. And hence it starts with your personality adjustments. Now, talking about the second aspect is procreation and rearing. Now, the perpetuation of society is another very important function of family. The procreation becomes essential for the society. You would have to have the next generation. You would have to have, for that you would have to have children, and which is given legitimacy under the concept of marriage again and comes under the aspect of family and hence the family. The human child at birth is incapable of surviving on its own. So who will take care of it? It requires the help of its parents during its prolonged infancy, and the parents are obliged to rear it under the institution of family. Besides, the family alone provides the legitimate status to the offspring. Because it is legitimate to have the sexual relationships with the people, with your husband, with your spouse, and the offspring hence produced is given the legitimate status. Also, because the child when it is born is not really in a condition to take care of himself or herself and needs that prolonged care, which because of them being a part of your family is something that comes automatically, is something that the parents are obliged to do, and hence this whole concept of family. So that also the caretaking, the training, the socialization are the basic units of the family. The family alone can lay the foundation of individual's personality. The family alone can ensure the healthy development of an individual personality. It is something like, you and me, when we were born, we were not really able to take care of ourselves. For that matter, anyone who was born as a child was not really able to take care of himself or herself. Now, as a unit of family, we have been socialized. Our family is our first socializing agent. They are the ones who have taught us how to walk, how to talk, how to, eat, feed, train us for the toiletries. All of these aspects involved and have taken care that there is this foundation of individual's personality taking place and the foundation of the healthy development of an individual's personality taking place, and hence the whole aspect or the whole entity of family becomes a very, very important unit. Moving on is the provision of a home. A home is more than a residential building. It connotes the idea of love, joy, and sympathy, etc. So a human being has needs for affection because he or she is an emotional being. We as human beings are emotional beings as well. We have our emotional needs as well. So when you have your emotional needs, when you have those, when you want that affection, when you want that sympathy, when you want that joy, when you want someone to come back and crib to when you're coming from school after a very heavy day, that is what the family provides us. It is not just the residential building. It is not just the four walls that you have of your home, of your house. Rather, it is the warmth, it is the care, it is the affection, it is the joy, it is the happiness, the sorrows, the sadness that all of you share with each other, being a part of the family. Also, the home provides a common place for expressing, like I said, you want to come back and crib about things, you want to come back and dump about what all has happened, and experiencing emotions like love, anger, joy, fear, etc. You have your own challenges. You have, you do not like what your parents have said, or your parents do not like what you have said. So it is a place of expressing. It is a place of expressing your love, your anger, your fear, all of these aspects. Hence, an individual develops affectionate relationships with one another. Thus, home is a place where its members find comfort and affection more than in any group. There's one very famous saying when they talk about that, no matter wherever you go and wherever you stay, when you come back home, you get that feeling of satisfaction and you get the best sleep out there. It is because you feel yourself to be the most secure people at your homes. You feel that warmth, that care, that satisfaction of being at home, wherever you go, no matter you will get all the comforts, no matter you will get all the, all basic necessities will be taken care of, but our emotional needs are the things which we will not really be able to have that satisfaction when it comes to the places outside homes as well. Now, talking about the economic functions, a very important aspect. Again, a family is an economic unit. Why and how? The economic security is essential for the maintenance and the protection of the members of the family. It is not that everyone in the family is economically independent. You do have dependent people as well, like for example kids, they are dependent on you. So it is an economical unit which helps, is very essential for the maintenance and the protection of the members of the family. Economic needs motivated man and woman to form the family, whereas the traditional value was actually a producing and a consuming unit. Many of the present day families are only the consuming unit. So basically what they feel and what I want to talk about is that, herein traditionally it was supposed to be that, okay, you will have some people who would be producing and some people who would be consuming. So it will be a composition and a balance of the consuming and the producing unit. However, we see in the present day families, there are families who are only the consuming units, and also there are a lot of families who are only the producing units. So that is how the family setup has been. However, every family is to earn economic capacity or purchasing power for the subsistence. Property is an economic institution. Again, equal distribution and transmission of property to the posterity is the function of the family. When you talk about divisions, when you talk about next generations, And when you say that, the equal division and the transmission of property should be taking place, that is again one of the major aspect or major function of family. The next important function is the education. So education is a part of socialization. We do know that formal education is imparted in the schools, but a part of the informal education is given by the family. The school did not teach you how to talk. It did not teach you the first word that you said. It did not teach you the first step that you took. It was your family and the family members who were involved in that process, and hence a lot of informal education comes from there. Even till now, even till today, the school is not teaching you everything. The school is giving you knowledge. The school is giving you information. The school is giving you a lot of, understanding about a lot of aspects, about, maybe a lot of subject knowledge also, the content knowledge also, but there are still a lot of values, a lot of everyday ways of living your life that we are being taught by our families. Hence, education being one of the very important aspect of the family setup. Though the process of informal education, children are introduced into the culture of society. So through that process, like I said, like I talked about values, I talked about certain actions, what are you supposed to speak, what are you not supposed to speak, the way you are supposed to walk, the way you are supposed to dress up, what all are you eating at home, so your eating habits, all of it has a part of your family's, a major role of your family in teaching you that. They have also taught you various social qualities. Now, when you go out and when you greet your teacher for the first time in your school, this is not something that your teacher taught you. Oh, when you come, you have to greet me like that. No, that is something that your parents, your family must have taught you, that, okay, when you go meet your teachers, you have to wish them like that. Or, when you go meet your friends, that is how you talk to them, or that is how you kind of interact with them. So that is all the family setup is, and the education that the family has given us is being talked about. Also, the virtue of citizenship, love, cooperation, tolerance, obedience, sacrifice, etc. are imparted to the new generation. Thus, the individual becomes a person in the family. It is that the individual becomes a person in the family, and you have, generally it is seen that, as a family, you tend to have certain shared values. As a family, you tend to have certain eating habits. As a family, you tend to have certain common choices. Now, because why is it? Because as a child itself, you have been given such inputs, you have been talked about, or you have had the access to those kind of ideas, that you have now obtained or understood those kind of ideas as yours, and hence is the role of family into your education. Moving on to another role is the healthcare. Now, the family is the one who takes care of the health of its members. It provides protection against diseases, takes care of the sick members. When you are sick, when you are, when you are not feeling well, the first person or someone from your family is the one that you seek to have. It is not it is not something that you would go with your friends, no matter how much close are you to them, no matter how much close are you with your teachers, you will not go towards them. You will only and only seek your family members. Also, when the child is very young, the child does not know anything but that the family members will take care of them. And the child, and also as a family unit, it has become the obligation of the parents to take care of the well-being of their children. So family also provides women the help during the childbearing and child-rearing periods. In general, the family takes care of the individual from the womb to the tomb. Amazing line, amazing aspect that they have tried and established in here. So, the family is taking care of the child, the family is taking care of the woman who is actually bearing that child, right? Who is having that child in her womb. So, in a way, the child's being taken care of as well. So the family is actually taking care of the child till the child has actually taken up an individual identity and has moved out either in their own houses only, or has actually being that much capable to take care of their own selves. Hence, they say that the family takes care of individual from the womb to the tomb, wherein you are well established to take care of ourselves. Moving on to the aspect of social control. So the family is the most important agency of social control. It preserves and transmits the culture of the new generation. It is something that transmits the culture to the new generation. It is something that preserves the culture of the new generation. We were being taught a lot of things about our culture from our parents. We learned about it from our parents, from our grandparents, from our brothers, sisters, all of them were a part of our family. Now, parents and the grandparents had this responsibility to preserve it for the next generation and also transmit it to the next generation, what they did in terms of us. And now us as the people have this responsibility to preserve it till our next generation is there and transmit it to the next generation that comes in. The family regulates the behavior of all its members through the process of internalization of social norms. So you are in a way taught what all are social norms. You are in a way taken care of that, all these social norms are being taken care by you. And hence the personality adjustments of the individuals have roots in the formative influence of the family. However you are in your family, however you are as a part of your society is something that we have learned, is something that we have seen, and is something that there's a lot of influence of our families on it. The kind of individual that I am, the kind of importance that I give to maybe violence, non-violence, truth, honesty, or if I have some, maybe in some families wherein it is not really a pleasant thing. So at times, how your understanding of certain concepts have been, it extremely depends on the concept of, or extremely depends on the person's family setups and family values. Moving ahead to the religious functions which are there. The family is the center of religious trainings, the religious virtues and the principle of righteousness, service to mankind, human welfare, etc. are taught through the religious practices, religious discourses and sermons, etc. No one taught us how to fold our hands. It is something that we saw our parents doing it. It is something that our parents taught us. It is something that our grandparents taught us. It is something that our parents and grandparents and our family taught us, how to greet the other person when you meet them, how to greet them when you are going in happy occasions and sad occasions. All of these has been the trainings, or rather, it is not trainings in a way that, okay, now you sit and you will be trained in that particular sphere. No. It is also in the form of observations that we have made, seeing at our families only. It is a kind of, the reflections that we have got from our family members only. I went somewhere, I greeted in a very different way, and my family came back and told me, this is not how it's supposed to be done. So it is a reflection that they have given to me, and hence the whole family system is responsible for the religious functions and the shaping of the religious identity of the person. Also, a very, very important aspect is the recreation. The family performs the recreation functions as well. The common residence provides scope for recreation activities. During the lockdown, during this time of pandemic, this is one aspect that we have lived majorly, because when we were 4 to 6 people being together, that is where at least we had that socializing group, we had that recreation group, we could play some games, we could have interactions. On the other hand, when people were staying alone, this aspect was a challenge for them. So the members of the family satisfy their recreational needs, participating in ceremonies, religious performances, festivals, etc. by the family. The family is the most important source of love and affection. The joy of an individual derives in the family is unique. it is generally seen, it is what your family setups are like, which has a very major role in playing, which has a very major role in kind of developing your personality. The happier, the joyful your family setups are, the kind of nature that you try and adopt, the kind of, if the love, the affection that you get as a child is something that you want to spread also when you are an individual and grow up in the social sphere as well. And hence family plays a very, very, all the functions, all the ceremonies, all the festivals, the family seen together, the family celebrates together, the family has their joy periods together, and hence family becomes a very, very important part of the recreation as well. Now, summarizing all of this, we would say that more than any other grouping, family exerts a stable, intimate and far-reaching influence on the newborn child and its personality. However, many functions of the family have undergone changes to a great extent. We do see that, like I said, a lot of functions of the family have undergone a major change, because you kind of, you have substitutes to it. You do not really have parents available 24/7 because of the working conditions. You do have, let's say substitutes in the form of videos, in the form of, social media, your extended families, your house helps, someone who's taking care of you. All of these things have started coming in. But the main function of the family remains there. The main function or the main aspect of the family still has a very, very important role to play.